next to you, in front of you.
Welcome.
Me too. This is when meeting happy people, going to experience, getting the experiences, fitness.
Okay, so does anyone want to say to everyone what makes them happy? Yeah? What makes you happy?
Eating. Sorry?
Vacation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Eating, living with food
Yeah.
makes me happy. Should I ask you what makes me happy? At this point, yes. That will make me happy.
Great. So I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Yasmin. I'm 18 and I'm here representing Egypt, but I'm originally from the UK. So, and I'll be doing WEF 2020 in Egypt. So before I start, I just want to thank Dr. Harvey and Vinay for bringing a young speaker on, because I feel like young speakers are very not noticed nowadays as much, and we are of course the generation of today. So I'm just going to tell you a few things about habits of happiness first of all. So the first one I would like to talk about is being at peace with yourself. I feel like once you're in peace with yourself, being happy comes naturally. So when you're less stressed, when you're more relaxed, you're able to be happy. And when you're happy within yourself, you're able to project that to other people. You're able to make other people happy, because you can never really give your best to everyone else if you're not happy within yourself first of all. And as I was mentioning before about what makes you happy, it's important to take time in things that make you happy, because I know surely we all have crazy work life, crazy schedule, and if you don't take time out of that to do things that make you happy, you're just like a CRM, you're just going to overload and you're just going to kind of crash, because you haven't taken time to give yourself that happiness, that extra time to yourself. So it's also great to start off the day with a gratitude. So something you're grateful for, something you're thankful for in this life. So mine would be basically, I'm thankful for my little brother. He has a lifetime bowel disease. So he's only 9 years old and it never has a cure for it. So when I look at him, he's like a role model to me, an inspiration, because he never gives up, and he's not academic, but he does have things in his life. So he's aspiring to be a footballer, and he's very creative in that sense. So it shows me to never give up. And also my mom is my great role model. So she of course has her own business, the Making Money Using Social Media business. And from the life that she lived, raising us four by herself, she's really done a lot for everyone and a lot for me. So thank you. So I would also speak about having a positive outlook on life. So being more optimistic. When you're optimistic, life flows so much easier. I used to have such a pessimistic mindset. I was always looking at the worst, like, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this kind of life? And then when I started thinking like that, things in my life, so academically wasn't going great, just life in general wasn't going great for me. And then when I started looking at things more positively, I started getting better grades, I was having a better outlook, better job, so I was then a straight A's after that, because I became looking at the happier life. Instead of thinking, why this, I was thinking, or what did I learn from that? What lessons did that teach me? I always think about the bad things in life that happen to everyone as a lesson, something to learn and move on and improve on, rather than something negative, something to be upset about. And I also love to spread happiness, spreading a smile around, walking with a smile on your face, because you never know when you meet someone in the street what they're going through, and giving a smile just really changes the mood. So, because you never know, so for example, if you're walking in the street and there's someone, and you just smile at them, they might carry that smile with them for the rest of the day, and spreading positivity and happiness around is so important, especially in the life that we're living in nowadays. And I would like to finish off with a smile from everyone. And thank you so much for having me. It was really a pleasure.
What are you studying?
I'm going on to study.
Questions.
Oh, is there any questions? Are there any
What are you
questions?
studying?
I'm going on to study criminology with law. Yeah. So I want to go into fraud banking afterwards. Really hectic.
Do you think you have to experience badness in order to really emphasize happiness?
No, I wouldn't necessarily, because there's lots of people that I know that haven't experienced like trauma or stress in their life, but they're extremely happy. I just hits you harder once you've experienced some trauma to really be able to turn it around, because sometimes when you get stuck in that really like low place, you kind of feel the urge to push even more out of it. So I wouldn't say that you're more happier if you've had a less stressful life. I think it just hits a person and has a more impact on a person's life when they have gone through something stressful. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Hello.
Moms. This is like an old mom's movie.
Yeah, well, social media. Thank you. She's speaking again tomorrow.
No, it's like
Am I audible or do you need the mic? The mic's better? Okay. I'll start with a quick introduction. My name is Ankit Malhotra and I own a company which is an event management company. We take care of weddings, corporate conferences, exhibitions, mall decors, fashion shows, kids' birthday parties, baby showers, you name an event and we're pretty much there. We've been there in the industry since 2012 and yeah, we've been pretty good. As per stats, they say that if a company completes 10 years, they're there to stay. We're waiting for 2 more years to complete. Okay, so honestly speaking, this topic for today sounds pretty interesting. I didn't choose it. There were just less options. By the time I registered, most of the topics had gone. But yeah, pretty interesting topic. Like they say, everyday habits for happiness. Honestly, happiness is just a state of mind. But who determines those states for us in today's time? Facebook? Instagram? We see people's memes, we see people's posts and think that's the quotient for happiness, that's the leveling ground. But honestly, it is 90% of the time, it's an artificially concocted happiness. Therefore leads us back into the situation that happiness is just a state of mind. Very, very personal, very, very individualistic. So, I think sometime back I read a survey, I can't recall where, but it said that India, on some statistic level, is depressed. And, and we are a depressed nation. Very funny because I'm generally not depressed. But then I thought, let me look deep within, because at a microscopic level, I formed part of the country, and I looked into myself and said, I was actually depressed. Because my life wasn't going exactly how Instagrammers' life go. I wasn't vacationing, I wasn't buying luxury products, I wasn't chilling with my folks, I wasn't eating the best food, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm depressed. Then came the realization that happiness is a state of mind. If you force happiness onto yourself, there's no power on the planet which can bog you down. So what led me to happiness? What is my leveling ground on the basis of which I decide my happiness? So I came to the conclusion after having read this survey was that my work is very orgasmic. When I deal with a creation, when I deal with an event, I'm creating something which leads to laughter on people's faces, smiles on people's faces, and when they're happy, I'm happy. So I think that is when I realized that my happiness is dependent on the creation that I create on a daily basis. So coming back to Yasmin, smile more often, fill people's life with happiness, and it in turn affects you. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I just spent an hour yesterday in the night on this, thinking what exactly are those effective habits of happiness on a daily basis. I got a bottle of Red Bull. I said I can't drink tonight. I won't be able to make it in time. This venue was pretty far. But I have listed down some real-time, totally personal examples. Let me start with a disclaimer. These are totally my own. They're not in order of priority, and nobody forced me to say nothing of this. Okay. Over the last 8 years of my work experience, these were some of the daily habits, and they're not necessarily nice habits. They're totally my own, and I'm not sure if they work for you. They do work for me. Maybe learn by example at your own risk. One is, when I remember this one time I went for a meeting and I've been chasing this client like how, and because of my constant chasing, she became a friend. Like how you kind of strike a chord, you don't discuss business, but you discuss your kids, my kids. I don't have kids, but like gentle kids. How life is bad with kids. So, so we struck a chord, and so it was supposed to be a very casual meeting. Now, it was a corporate meeting. I went in shorts. I said, I'm not going to care. I won't wear a business suit, but I will just go in my shorts. And I felt really comfortable. So I think one of the things which gives me happiness on a daily basis is to be able to dress up the way I want to. I am no soldier going on war. Don't tell me to arm myself up. So, I remember in my first job as a market researcher, when I started off after my MBA, I was always so dressed up, and I used to feel so bogged down, 9 to 5, soldier clothes, a suit, a tie, hair done up in a certain way. And I thought it wasn't, at some level, it wasn't nice with it. And then I looked out for options as to where else should I apply, where I'm not bogged down by this on a daily basis. So I think in the industry that I am in, and also maybe because of my personal demeanor, I force a freedom choice on myself that I can be dressed the way I want to, and trust me, it gives me a lot of happiness within. Yeah.
See, primarily the audience that is coming in, I saw like last time at least there were many more Indians.
Yeah, I think go first. I'm ready for you.
And you, how do you name it?
My mom.
Moms are always like that.
So, hello everyone. Before we start, obviously we're talking about habits of happiness. Between yourselves, if you have like a 20-minute discussion about what makes you happy, if you want to talk between yourself for 20 seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, what makes you happy if you want to discuss with the person next to you, in front of you.
Happy food.
Well,
Me too. This event. Meeting happy people, going to experience, getting the experiences, fitness.
Okay, so does anyone want to say to everyone what makes them happy? Yeah? What makes you happy?
Eating. Sorry?
vacation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Eating really good food
Yeah.
makes me happy. They ask me about this. At this point, yes. That will make me happy.
Great. So I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Yasmin. I'm 18 and I'm here representing Egypt, but I'm originally from the UK. So, and I'll be doing WEF 2020 in Egypt. So before I start, I just want to thank Dr. Harvey and Vinay for bringing a young speaker on, because I feel like young speakers are very not noticed nowadays as much, and we are of course the generation of today. So I'm just going to tell you a few things about habits of happiness first of all. So the first one I would like to talk about is being at peace with yourself. I feel like once you're in peace with yourself, being happy comes naturally. So when you're less stressed, when you're more relaxed, you're able to be happy. And when you're happy within yourself, you're able to project that to other people. You're able to make other people happy, because you can never really give your best to everyone else if you're not happy within yourself first of all. And as I was mentioning before about what makes you happy, it's important to take time in things that make you happy, because I know surely we all have crazy work life, crazy schedule, and if you don't take time out of that to do things that make you happy, you're just like a CRM, you're just going to overload and you're just going to kind of crash, because you haven't taken time to give yourself that happiness, that extra time to yourself. So it's also great to start off the day with a gratitude. So something you're grateful for, something you're thankful for in this life. So mine would be basically, I'm thankful for my little brother. He has a lifetime bowel disease. So he's only 9 years old and it never has a cure for it. So when I look at him, he's like a role model to me, an inspiration, because he never gives up, and he's not academic, but he does have things in his life. So he's aspiring to be a footballer, and he's very creative in that sense. So it shows me to never give up. And also my mom is my great role model. So she of course has her own business, the making money using social media business. And from the life that she lived, raising us 4 by herself, she's really done a lot for everyone and a lot for me. So thank you. So I would also speak about having a positive outlook on life. So being more optimistic. When you're optimistic, life flows so much easier. I used to have such a pessimistic mindset. I was always looking at the worst, like, why did this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this kind of life? And then when I started thinking like that, things in my life, so academically wasn't going great, just life in general wasn't going great for me. And then when I started looking at things more positively, I started getting better grades, I was having a better outlook, better job, so I was then a straight A's after that, because I became looking at the happier life. Instead of thinking why this, I was thinking, or what did I learn from that? What lessons did that teach me? I always think about the bad things in life that happen to everyone as a lesson, something to learn and move on and improve on, rather than something negative, something to be upset about. And I also love to spread happiness, spreading a smile around, walking with a smile on your face, because you never know when you meet someone in the street what they're going through, and giving a smile just really changes the mood. So, because you never know. So, for example, if you're walking in the street and there's someone, and you just smile at them, they might carry that smile with them for the rest of the day. And spreading positivity and happiness around is so important, especially in the life that we're living in nowadays. And I would like to finish off with a smile from everyone. And thank you so much for having me. It was really a pleasure.
What are you studying?
I'm going on to study.
Questions.
Oh, is there any questions? Are there any
What are you
questions?
studying?
I'm going on to study criminology with law. Yeah. So I want to go into fraud banking afterwards. Really hectic.
Do you think you have to experience badness in order to really emphasize happiness?
No, I wouldn't necessarily, because there's lots of people that I know that haven't experienced like trauma or stress in their life, but they're extremely happy. I think sometimes it just hits you harder once you've experienced some trauma to really be able to turn it around, because sometimes when you get stuck in that really like low place, you kind of feel the urge to push even more out of it. So I wouldn't say that you're more happier if you've had a less stressful life. I think it just hits a person and has a more impact on a person's life when they have gone through something stressful. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
Hello.
Moms. This is like an old mom's movie.
Yeah, well, social media. Thank you. She's speaking again tomorrow.
No, it's like
Sure. Am I audible or do you need the mic? The mic's better? Okay. I'll start with a quick introduction. My name is Ankit Malhotra and I own a company which is an event management company. We take care of weddings, corporate conferences, exhibitions, mall decors, fashion shows, kids' birthday parties, baby showers, you name an event and we're pretty much there. We've been there in the industry since 2012 and yeah, we've been pretty good. As per stats, they say that if a company completes 10 years, they're there to stay. We're waiting for 2 more years to complete. Okay, so honestly speaking, this topic for today sounds pretty interesting. I didn't choose it. There were just less options. By the time I registered, most of the topics had gone. But yeah, pretty interesting topic. Like they say, everyday habits for happiness. Honestly, happiness is just a state of mind. But who determines those states for us in today's time? Facebook? Instagram? We see people's memes, we see people's posts and think that's the quotient for happiness, that's the leveling ground. But honestly, it is 90% of the time, it's an artificially concocted happiness. Therefore leads us back into the situation that happiness is just a state of mind. Very, very personal, very, very individualistic. So, I think sometime back I read a survey, I can't recall where, but it said that India, on some statistic level, is depressed. And, and we are a depressed nation. Very funny because I'm generally not depressed. But then I thought, let me look deep within, because at a microscopic level, I formed part of the country, and I looked into myself and said, I was actually depressed. Because my life wasn't going exactly how Instagrammers' life go. I wasn't vacationing, I wasn't buying luxury products, I wasn't chilling with my folks, I wasn't eating the best food, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm depressed. then came the realization that happiness is a state of mind. If you force happiness onto yourself, there's no power on the planet which can walk you down. So what led me to happiness? What is my leveling ground on the basis of which I decide my happiness? So I came to the conclusion after having done this survey was that my work is very orgasmic. You know, when I deal with a creation, when I deal with an event, you know, I'm creating something which leads to laughter on people's faces, smiles on people's faces, and when they're happy, I'm happy. So I think that is when I realized that my happiness is dependent on the creation that I create on a daily basis. So coming back to Yasmin, smile more often, fill people's life with happiness, and it in turn affects you. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I just spent an hour yesterday in the night on this, thinking what exactly are those effective habits of happiness on a daily basis. I got a bottle of Red Bull. I said I can't drink tonight. I won't be able to make it in time. This venue was pretty far. But I have listed down some real-time, totally personal examples. Let me start with a disclaimer. These are totally my own. They're not in order of priority, and nobody forced me to say nothing of this. Okay. Over the last 8 years of my work experience, these were some of the daily habits, and they're not necessarily nice habits. They're totally my own, and I'm not sure if they work for you. They do work for me. Maybe learn by example at your own risk. One is, when I remember this one time I went for a meeting, and I've been chasing this client like how, because of my constant chasing, she became a friend. You know, like how you kind of strike a chord. You don't discuss business, but you discuss your kids, my kids. I don't have kids, but like gentle kids. How life is bad with kids. So we struck a chord, and so it was supposed to be a very casual meeting. Now it was a corporate meeting. I went in shorts. I said I'm not gonna care. I won't wear a business suit, but I will just go in my shorts, and I felt really comfortable. So I think one of the things which gives me happiness on a daily basis is to be able to dress up the way I want to. I am no soldier going on war. Don't tell me to arm myself up. So, I remember in my first job as a market researcher, when I started off after my MBA, I was always so dressed up, and I used to feel so bogged down, 9 to 5, soldier clothes, a suit, a tie, hair done up in a certain way. And I thought it wasn't, at some level, it wasn't nice with it. And then I looked out for options as to where else should I apply, where I'm not bogged down by this on a daily basis. So I think in the industry that I am in, and also maybe because of my personal demeanor, I force a freedom choice on myself that I can be dressed the way I want to, and trust me, it gives me a lot of happiness within. Yeah. Another thing that I believed from my first job was, I used to see people, asking them, when do you think we can chill? When do you think we can party? So they used to tell me that, we'll party on a Saturday, we'll party on a Sunday. So very early in my life, I realized that, life cannot be lived on a Saturday and Sunday. So I told myself, and this was a very, very forced implication, that I will party the day I want to. Now, whether the next day I'm groggy, whether the next day I'm sleepy, I will do my work, but I will party when I want. So I think at again an intrinsic level, it gives me a lot of happiness, a sense of freedom that I can live the life that I want to without having to wait for weekend to weekend. Yeah. Another thing was point number 3. A daily habit is to keep your dreams very small. A lot of times, my friends, your counterparts, especially are the ones who want to bog you down at various steps in life, and this is very real. It's not like people get immense happiness to see you successful, especially your counterparts. Your friends, your family will always be happy. So, so this always ask me, so this time you bought this car, so I'm sure you're aiming for the other one. You're aiming for this house now that house. So I'm sure you will always be aiming for more. Again, very early in my life, I realized that if the dreams are very small, the happiness quotient increases. Yeah. So ever since the start of 2012 till today, my dreams have remained constant. And trust me, at some level, I am almost there. I won't say that I've attained 100%. I'm 60% there, but the gap has reduced from where I started to the dream attainment. It is not that the gap is still 100%. So was aiming for a Merc then, I'm aiming still for a Merc. It hasn't moved to the fact that I want a Porsche. The gap would have increased or would have remained constant. So I think it's very important to keep your dreams small, aim high, but aim realistic, I would say. Yeah. Okay. Now this could be very, very personal. Invest more in human resources. Like how I like to invest is I have an EA who takes care of my daily work. Stuff which is not important, stuff which can be put on a back burner, can be passed on to your resources. If you take up everything onto yourself on a daily basis, trust me, stress will break through the ceiling and there'll be a burnout day. So I think it's very important to be able to, pass on or delegate some part of your job to your resources and have faith in them. They will do it. You can be the devil wears Prada most of the times. I mean, I am always on that mode. But it's important to delegate. It's important to compartmentalize your life through these resources. Gets me onto my fifth point. Again, through experience, I realized that there were many organizations, especially small-time establishments. I mean, I'm into a very small-time business at a very small level, and that is how I always wanted it to be. A very lean, mean, juicing my employees to the max, not having 100 people, but having just 12, but ensuring that each one is put to the best of the use. That also keeps your stress levels low. The more you delegate sometimes, you are always in stress. So what I learned was that, many corporates or many individuals who were in a similar establishment, small-time establishments, was that they used to get bogged down by losses. Most of the time, because you keep investing into your work, and sometimes you don't realize that there is a huge gap behind which you can't think through, and that bubble one day which bursts, and it's a huge bubble. So what I realized was that as much as I possibly can, forget about your losses. There are losses, they will happen on a daily basis, you are an entrepreneur, but if you let your losses bog you down, there is no moving forward. What I do is, at an individual level, I pass it on to my finance, my stress, and two is, by God's grace, I have a very, very short memory. I forget. And I genuinely forget. So I think that's a blessing in disguise, but as a lesson to all of you, try to forget about the losses, because then you can focus on newer profits, you can focus on newer businesses. And of course, those losses will get covered sooner or later. Yeah. Like I said, one was to delegate. I mean, one was the point of the EA, that have somebody who's your shadow throughout the day. Keep the movie Devil Wears Prada in mind. She used to take a lot of stresses, getting coffee, getting all the non-important jobs. And trust me, when you have your most non-important jobs being taken care of by somebody, your stress levels are low. Imagine how life, especially for us Delhiites, would be without a driver. Right? I mean, it is a task to drive a Delhi, and therefore the stress levels are high. But if you have somebody you can delegate that job to, and you focus on a more important job, which you are suitable for. I'm not saying driving a car is a bad job, but the right man for the right job, right? Okay, again, this realization came to me a lot later in life. What does it mean for a right man in the right job? So I could be driving the car, but there is a person who is better at that job, and I could be put to a better use. So try and delegate as much as you can, but remember this statement, the right man in the right job. I read it in class 12. At that point, it just didn't make sense. I said, I could mop the floors, I could do this, I could do that. But today I realize that it's so important that one person's potential for that respective job is very, very important. Yeah. Okay, so one more principle for a daily, index or happiness that I follow is that I sort of have a belief system, and which is very strong. Put faith in one thing in your life, whether it is your parents, whether it is a stone, whether it is God, a locket, a small prayer. There is, that in a way tells you that there is something to fall back on. If things never go right, things that go right just happen by accident, or by a lot of planning, which you have been doing over the years. It just doesn't happen with a snap of finger. Oh, I was thinking this and it so happened. So you are planning for the right, but there are 99% of the times things will go wrong. And 1%, when things will fall right, you will put that to your belief system. You will not put that to your team. You will never put it to any other thing, but you will fall back on your belief system. So it's very important to have faith it could be a mental block, but that mental block helps you, right? So, like, I used to put a vermilion here. Today I'm not wearing that. I thought it's inappropriate for a conference like that. But, the day I don't put that vermilion, in Indian tradition it's called tikka, so it's like a red dot here. The day I don't wear it, I feel very nervous. From the start of the day, I feel today my meetings might not go as well planned. So, and it is nothing to do with the tradition or whatever. It was just my faith system. So the day I wear it, immediately my meetings go good. It is only because I have a faith in that. It could be irrational, it could be a mental block, but it's very important to have your faith, your belief system very strong over something. Like I said, it could be anything. Yeah. It's like you telling yourself that there is happiness within, and it happens. Coming back to your story, right? Okay. Now, I read a book called How Not to Give a Fuck or something. Okay, 2 minutes left. Yeah. So, one of the lessons is that learn not to give a fuck. The more fucks you offer, the more stressed you get. Because when you have more fucks to give, you will always care about what the other person is thinking. How will it impact the society? What will my parents think? What will my counterparts think? What will my competition think? So I think over the, and this creates a lot of burden. Burden is equal to stress. So when you have very less fucks to give, life is so happy. There's no stress. And the more, you care, the more fucks you give, it's so bloody stressful. So, like I said, I was blessed. I have a very short memory. You tell me something, I'll forget the next morning. But that also comes from the fact that I follow a process of selective screening. Like sometimes when you're back home and you're chilling in your own zone, and your mom has this list of 20 items to be discussed. This person said this is not doing right, you're not doing that. At that point, you are trying to not give a fuck. You are only focusing on what's important. Money has to be collected, just screen those 20 statements of hers and just pick up 2. So at that point, internally, what are you doing is, you are not giving a fuck to her. to the non-relevant things. You don't want to talk about relatives, especially when you come back after a heavy day, where clients are such bitches, I tell you, So the idea is, stop giving fucks. Fucks are precious. Okay. Don't compare yourself. And do it consciously on a regular basis. I mean, like we live in such a highly competitive society, wherein if you don't compare yourself, there are 20 people, your neighbors, your parents, your counterparts, your team members telling you, we could have done this, we could have done that, you could have aimed for that. Stop comparing yourself. And when you stop comparing yourself, the happiness is so intrinsic, it is so natural, that it just falls into the right scheme of things. And the last is... Okay. My last index to happiness is that I go late for meetings. Always. I'm late by 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And trust me, it gives me a sense of accomplishment that I have made. It's nothing to do with, like I said, it's not the right things to say in this forum, but it was so individual and at our own level. So when I go late for meetings, I feel so accomplished. And trust me, deep within, in my gut, I feel I have arrived in life. Now, even though it is self-proclaimed, self-generated, but it is happiness. And there you go. Like I said, happiness is a state of mind. Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
That's fine. It's not a question.
Sure.
I'm here to challenge you.
Sure.
But, I'm really open to, discussions. Are you open for that? If you
Yeah,
don't
sure,
mind,
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned three things that really stood out in my mind, and you said that, sometimes if you feel like wearing shorts, that's you, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Who's to say what you should and shouldn't wear?
Sure.
Yeah. So, why don't you come in shorts today, for example?
Yeah, so, no, absolutely. Okay.
enough sleep, which is very, very important. They sometimes maybe watch funny shows, funny videos, something that makes them laugh, or something that gives them that break from the monotony of life or the monotony of work. Even if they're having a bad day, they maybe listen to or watch a motivational talk. I mean, we all need to take a bath every day, right? So do we not take a bath again? So it's the same with motivation. We need to, remind ourselves to motivate ourselves every day so that we can be happier and healthier. We also need to learn to journal. Like a lot of times I feel that, if I'm really going through a stressful event or a day or some unpleasant emotion has popped up, if I write about it or if I talk about it to my friends, it works like a therapy. So when you're journaling your thoughts, a lot of times you can just, like how they show it in movies, it does work at times. When you journal your thoughts, it really works. Okay, about the recharge, this is something I absolutely love doing, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree. Any sort of physical movement, some exercise or meditation or deep breathing or pranayama or anything. Basically, it's about cultivating any spiritual practice that you can relate to, that puts you in a position where you know that, like he said rightly, that there's a higher power above us, and you can, if you put that faith in that higher power, it just makes life easier. It just makes it easier. Just try it. Also, happy people love themselves. Or at least they're on that journey already. They'll know that it's important to invest, eat good food, eat nutritious food, so they're not sluggish or tired, but they get that energy to go through the day and not just running through motions. So, like for me, I deal with organic. I'm CEO and founder of OnAHealthyNote.com, so that is really big for me because I really believe that we are what we eat. So I have seen a difference, I've seen a major difference. Like I see people around me, even girls like in their teens or in their 20s, these days people have very little energy to do things. A couple of us somewhere and they're already like ready to poop out and ready to just go and rest and relax in their beds. But for me, I'm like always on the go and I still feel a lot of energy, and I feel a part of it is attributed to the food I eat. So yes, you are what you eat. So invest in that thing. Eat good, nutritious food daily, and you will have a lot more energy and a lot more positivity by default. Okay, and the other thing that Ankit again rightly pointed out, that we need to value our times immensely. So yes, do some sort of delegation, but be more organized in some way or the other. Because if we leave things to the last minute, it is always going to be stressful or frustrating or some sort of attitude that that rubs off, that is not going to be very, very happy at the end of it. So yes, be more proactive, do things, take that time out and start preparing things stop procrastinating, be more organized about things, and that is where you will end up not having the last minute stress, which all of us can avoid having actually. So yes, like I said, fake it till you make it. Even if we take like 4 or 5 habits out of these things and start applying and practicing in our lives, I'm sure we'll all feel like immense difference right from the day we start. So yes, don't get overwhelmed because a lot of points have come up and it's been a wonderful discussion. But I guess start small and finish strong. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.